Hey,
I'm so sorry. I had my phone set with an alarm for every time I was moderating or needed to hit record. And my phone was going off so much that pretty soon I didn't even hear them anymore. So I turned them all off, and now that doesn't work either. So I don't know thank you for texting me. We've
that's
got,
okay. I'm happy to be your nudger. I know it's getting busier, which is exciting for the Y.
it is exciting. We have Christine and Barbara, so I'll let them in, okay?
Okay, perfect.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah, it is getting busier. It's nice. We just need to have more
Good.
paying members.
Hey, well, you look well. Look, we both have
Oh,
our turquoise
oh, we
on.
have the same color. Yeah, beautiful blue.
I know. It must be the Friday thing.
It is. It's Friday, the Friday blues in a good way.
Yeah, bright blue. Let's go with bright blue.
Hi, Christine. Hi, Barbara.
Hi.
Good morning. Or I
Hi,
guess it's
Christine.
afternoon. Gosh, the day goes by fast. All right, I'm out of here. Have fun, girls.
Bye. Have a good weekend.
Okay. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Christine. Glad you're here. Just gonna make my screen a little bigger. Okay. Let's start. Let's just begin by coming on to hands and knees. With these on a folded blanket and hands straight down from the shoulders. And just notice how your body responds to that. Mine responded with a big exhalation and a sinking of the chest. And it may be because it's a cue. You know, I've taken this position so many times. My body just goes, oh, here we are, hands and knees. Exhale fully and drop the chest. And so I invite you to do the same. Exhale fully and drop the cage of the chest. And the weight of it, and let that weight, be a tool to bring the shoulder blades towards the spine and to anchor the head of the arm bone in the shoulder joint. And then let the tailbone curl under a little as well. Index fingers parallel. And hands just a little forward of the shoulders, knees straight down from the hips or a little back, so that there's plenty of room for the spine to move, and just begin moving with the breath. Chin towards chest. Breath in, belly down, breath out. Press the hands, lift from the center of the sternum. And exhale, let the belly sag. Same kind of thing. So it lifts the low back, start to stretch in new ways. The hamstrings start to activate, and just continue with your breath movement. Breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. And come back to the flat back. And curl the toes under and bring the hips towards the heels. Lift the fingers up. And lift the hips up, walk the hands to the right. Bring the left hip towards the left heel, roll back on palms, lift fingers. And lift the hips, walk the hands back through center and over to the left. Bring the right hip towards right heel. And come back up through center, walk hands back through center. And bring the knees together at the midline. And breathe in, bring the hip towards the knee. And breathe out, extend out through the inner heel, the inseam of the right leg. You all know the routine. So just let your body lead. And 2 more, and then we'll hold the extension. And lift the left arm. And keep the other pieces going, especially the contact points. The anchored arm bone, right hand. And the breath. And bring the left hand down, ball of right foot down. Press into the heels of the hands and stretch the back of the right calf. And continue to stretch and lift the hips up. And press left and right heel towards the floor. So just getting the legs warmed up. And then we'll come on down and take the second side. So left knee in towards head, head towards knee, and then extend it out. Flowing with breath. Couple more. And on the third one, hold the extension, lift the right arm. Strong inner spiral up left thigh, upper left thigh. So the heels, in effect, like I'm internally rotating. Left thigh. And bring the right hand down, ball of left foot, and press into heels of hands. And press the heel back, left heel. And lift up again. And press left and then right heel towards the floor. And just let the hips sway a little too. Feet about hip width apart, lift both heels up, lift your sit bones up, lift your armpits up. It's almost like you're mid-motion in this idea that we would jump off the back of the feet and bring the feet forward between the hands. So there's this bit of momentum of coming forward. Lifted armpit, lifted heels. And plank, bring the shoulders to line up over the wrists. And hug the shoulder blades towards the spine again. Strong hugging of thighs to bone up towards hip. Strong breath. And bring the knees down, hug the elbows in, chest and chin to the floor, full exhalation. Let yourself wiggle and squirm onto the floor, forehead down, tops of feet stretching back. Hug the elbows towards one another and then drop them down towards the waist. Press the hands and rise up, cobra. And touch the forehead down, curl the toes under. So I'm going to lift the hips up and then scoot the knees forward and press the hands. So it's a lot of work in the upper body and the shoulders, the arms, the triceps. And rock the hips back. Exhale, compress ribs to thighs. Inhale, bring the right foot forward between the hands. And release the hips forward. So right knee lining up with right ankle. Strong stretch front of left thigh. And let's come up, straight leg lunge and just move back and forth. So if you need a block or something under the hands to bring a little height. Or you can use 2 blocks also, one to either side of the right foot. And or fingertips to floor, strengthening the wrists, fingertips touching. Inhale, lift the hips, exhale, drop the hips. And bring the left knee down again. And both hands top of right knee. Scoot the hips back in line with the back knee. Take the tailbone under. And then sweep the left arm up. And the right arm up. And take the thumbs back and gaze up. And dive forward. Now we'll come through plank to change sides. So straight leg lunge, step the right leg back. And knees down, hips back, left foot forward between the hands. Same routine, second side. So deep V bend. Left knee in line with left ankle, top of right thigh extending. And coming up, straight leg lunge. And perhaps using a block to either side of the left foot. Inhale, lift the hips, exhale. Dip into runner stance. Lift flex the left foot if you wish. And coming back, right knee down, push back, tailbone in line with bent knee and the right side. Right hand to the tailbone, so just getting that curling under. Stretching, it brings the attention right into the psoas. And lift the right arm up. Little bend to the left knee. And lift the left arm up, gaze up. And dive forward. And step the left leg back. Fold on downward facing dog pose. So walking the balls of the feet forward at the calf, pressing the heels down evenly, left and right. There's kind of a sliding that happens. The shoulder blades slide down the back, create some space between the neck and shoulders, between the ears and the shoulders. And come up on the balls of feet, plank position again, as if you were going to do a push-up. And we'll take the knees, chest, and chin again. So knees down, elbows back and down towards the waist, chin and chest to the floor. Wiggle out onto your belly, forehead down. And compress. The space between the ribs and the upper hip, the top of the waist. So bringing the top of the waist and the bottom of the rib cage towards each other. Elbows in. Long neck. Strong pose. Strong stretch back through tops of feet. Couple breaths. And nice long spine to come down. Curl toes under, scoot the knees up, lift the hips. And press. Upper body moves as one piece. Hips back. Exhale, fingers lift. Yeah, bring the right foot forward between the hands again. And let's take straight leg lunge again. And go ahead and remove the blanket if you don't need it. We're going to be doing more standing work. So let's start with a little twist. So the back heel lifted, both hands top of right knee. Similar to what we were just doing. You can also put that back heel into the wall. So that's another way to work with a little support. I'll show that in a minute. So stretching up. Then we're just going to bring right hand to the right hip and left hand across the midline to the outer right knee for a twist. So no mirroring yet. Just get a sense of rotation in the spine and come back through center and coming down for second side. We'll just step the right leg back, lift the hips up and the left foot forward. So I'm going to show you that variation with the wall. So if I have my heel at the wall, you see that? My heel is up the wall, it's hitting the wall. So if you have a wall, somewhere to put your back heel, it creates more stability for that twist. Also, if you suffer from plantar fasciitis, it's good to support the foot this way so it's not all on that fascia on the bottom of the foot. And then you would take a twist from here. Left hand, back of left hip, and right hand to the outside of left knee. Breathing. Keep drawing this left hip back. And right hip draws forward a little. And come back through center. So that would have looked like this if you weren't at the wall. And step back, dog pose again. You can always drop into extended child if you get tired or aren't looking for such a vigorous practice right now. So anything that I do from dog pose, I can do from hands and knees or extended childs. I'm gonna just walk my feet towards the hands and hands towards the feet so we can shift focus to more standing work. So Uttanasana, the hips high. Just let the tail wag side to side. And walk the hands back towards the ankles, elbows out to the side. And extend your spine, nice long back. Cup the kneecaps with the palms of the hands. Take the tailbone down and come on up to standing. And roll your shoulders. And feet about hip width apart. We'll just imagine sitting here in a bar stool. So tailbone dropping down like I'm sitting down. Shoulders line up over hips easily that way, and hips over ankles. And knees not forward of the toes. So I can still see my toes. And just feel the weight of the tops of the shoulders dropping down. And we're going to take some shoulder shrugs. Shoulders up on inhalation and down on exhalation. And then take the breath in. And a little more. And a little more. And let them go. Shoulders go, breath go. And bring right ear towards right shoulder. And reach out through the fingers of the left hand and use a little pressure on the outside of the head. And lift the head, extend the right arm and left ear towards left shoulder. And use the hand, apply a little pressure, reach out through fingers with right hand. Knees soft. And lift the head and extend the left arm. And do a little more twisting work. Fingers in front of shoulders, thumbs behind the shoulder. Inhale, look right, exhale, left. Three more. And the fourth one, come back through center. Taking a little more breath. And a little more. And make some big circles with the elbows. So let the breath breathe. And reverse the direction of the elbow rolls. And pause and inhale right and exhale left. Three more. And the fourth one back through center. And a little more. And a little more. And reach up. And exhale. And let's take some breath of joy. So I'll show it from the side. I learned this from Jamie, who used to teach at the Y, the other Jamie. And so you're going to come down like this. I'm just showing sideways so you can see the body mechanics, that nice flat back. Coming up, hands to shoulder height, then down, arms to shoulder height again, but out to the side. And then all the way up and like a wood chop. Inhale up. And get in touch with the ha or the ha sound. Ha. The breath. Ha. Each inhale is part of the same breath. So I'm not exhaling until I chop. Ha. Ha. 2 more. Ha. Moving energy. Ha. I was learning about how we can mine our emotions for energy. That it's the energy in our body, when we fixate on it and name it, that's when it becomes something like anger or frustration or impatience or sadness. Otherwise, it's just energy in the body, so we can use it, or we can allow it to move through without identifying or fixating or naming it. And I like using yogic exercises like that to get energy moving and maybe some stuck emotion. So breath of joy. Let's see. Yeah, more work in the shoulders. So if you have a strap or a belt, let's use that. And just put the strap around the waist. Fingertips pointing forward. So knuckles pointing forward, thumbs in towards the side of the hip. And again, just the side view for your visual. Tuck the tailbone under like you're sitting in that bar stool, lift the chest. Breathe in, breathe out. Then lift your sit bones and tilt forward and lift the arms up. Tuck your chest, tuck your chin towards your chest and relax the back of the neck. Crown of the head towards the floor. And bring the strap back to the waist, extend your spine, tailbone down, back to standing. And a little more work in the shoulders. Just bring the strap across the right top of the shoulder. And lift the right elbow and press the left hand. Let's do the mirror. So lift your left elbow, use your right hand. Pulling against the lifted bent elbow and pressing this long tricep muscle forward towards the camera, towards the screen. And then take the right hand out around and take hold behind the back. So you may or may not need the strap. You can inch the fingers closer together. Or hold the end of the strap, keeping the spine nice and long, the alignment intact, shoulders above hips, hips above ankles. We can take a forward extension in this position too, so you can try that. Putting into a forward extension. And extend the other way. And unclasp the strap and unwind the arms. Shake them out a little. And bring the strap across the right shoulder and right elbow up. Press the elbow into the hand into the elbow. So this isometric, so pushing and pulling. creates the activation of the tricep as well as the stretching there. And holding the strap, left arm around. And breathe. And here as well, you try guiding forward. Actually, in this position, if you do let the arm rest against the head, sort of accentuates the forward hang. And extend the spine and come up. And unwind the arms. Whew, just feel that feeling. And I'm just going to keep with that openness across the center of the back of the shoulders and take a wall sit. So I'm just going to do it right here. Feet as wide as the hips. So just like in our standing work, and when we make our alignment adjustments, you should be able to see your toes past your knees, and knees are straight up above the ankles, and then just open your arms. So just take the external rotation upper arm, thumbs up, open your hands, and press your sacrum and your low back and the back of your head and the back of your shoulders, shoulder blades to the wall. Keep that openness in the shoulders. So there's that strong external rotation that creates retraction of the shoulder blades towards the spine. We're going to hang here for about a minute. If that becomes too much, you can keep that action in the shoulders, but bring the hands lightly on the center of the thigh. Tucking chin, rising up through the top of the head. Breathe into the belly. Just notice the quality of your facial muscles. Let the eyelids close. Notice what's happening around the jaw and the temple. 3 breaths. Great way to stabilize the pelvis and to strengthen the muscles around the core. And just bring the hands back alongside the waist. So there's a theory that when we have good alignment, then the joints don't, they have less wear and tear because they're supported by good alignment and they're not pressing this repetitive pattern that may come from habitual holding. And that's one of the ways to undo the habitual holding, is just sit at the wall like that. And let's come on to the floor for some seated work. And take a blanket, folded blanket to the back of your mat and make a jelly roll, a yoga roll. Just roll up the yoga mat around the blanket and then come to sit with the hips up on the roll and just press the hands down and lift the side body up. Take the flesh away from the bones a little bit. And bring the fingertips back behind you, lift the chest. Staff position. So it's like a staff that the shepherds use. So I'm not quite sure about the right angle piece of it, but I think of the staff being at the base, starting at the base of the pelvis and rising up from there. This nice long line, like the spine is the staff. And there's even this loop, after you go into the cervical spine, then in Anusara Yoga, they call it the skull loop. It's more of this lifted occiput and a little bit of a chin tuck. So that could be like the top of the staff, like little Bo Peep who had her staff. Breathe. And let's work with Janu Sirsasana. So head to knee pose with a little twist and a bent knee. Bring the right knee up towards the chest, right foot to the floor. And then like tree pose, which we didn't get to standing, but can make it happen now. So right foot to inner left thigh. And just rising up right through the sternum and turn the sternum to line up with the center of the left thigh and take a little forward extension. So you're going to bring the right hand across the midline to the outside of the left shin or foot, wherever it reaches, and left hand up to the left. Make sure you have enough room. So the left hand is out here, right hand is here, and you can move with breath here. Inhale, like a wave, lift that center mid back. Exhale, bring the chest forward, rib cage towards thigh. Inhale, come back. It's almost like cat and cow, rounding a little exhale. Forehead towards shin. Inhale, come back. Exhale, come forward. So some of that twisting lunge work is similar to this in the movement in the spine. So this little rotation. Crossing midline, couple more breaths. And extend your spine, walk the hands back. And extend the right leg and roll the feet open and closed. Pause with the toes together like windshield wipers, old-fashioned cars, where they come together. Internally rotate. Moving from the thigh. And second side. Left foot to floor, left foot to inside of right knee or above the knee like a tree position, keeping that staff in the spine. Rise up through sternum, turn. I even bring this right hand right to the sternum and physically turn it. And left hand, anywhere it can come to outer right leg, and right hand out to the right. And breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, bring the chest forward. Couple more, just like a wave. And let your spine lengthen as you come forward, forehead towards shin. Big full breaths. It's a position of surrender. Extend the spine as you come up. So quieting the mind, this element of trust. It's opening this very vulnerable part of our body up to the sky, this back of the neck, base of the skull. It's where the yogis say the prana. One of the ways the prana, the life force energy comes in is right through here, the medulla oblongata. And you can try that, see what you feel, see what you think, how it feels to you. And we'll take the first side again. We're gonna just take a twist, right foot to the floor. Left leg extended, lift the right arm and bring it back behind you. Rising up on inhalation, finding rotation on exhalation. Staff position in the spine, so moving from stable base of spine, base of hips and pelvis. Left leg as though you were standing on it. It's very active. And release the arms, just it's almost like releasing a rubber band or something. Body just sort of bounces back to neutral. And just leaning back. Let's take another hip opener. So just cradling that right knee into the crook of the elbow, left hand just to the outer bone, the lower shin bone. You can hug it even more towards the chest. And extend that out, and we'll change sides. Right leg extends, recreating foundation, a staff. Being your own staff, something you can lean on. Healthy posture, healthy alignment. Extend the left arm. Right leg as if you were standing on it. And then take the left arm back behind you. Rise up through crown of head on inhalation. And on exhalation, find the rotation. Easy breath, 3 more. And release and just let yourself kind of bounce back through center. And second side, so you're just gonna draw Lean back, draw that left knee in towards the chest. And baby cradle. So left elbow around the left knee. Just working with your own body. Landing gear, your feet free, so don't want to hold on to the feet, but the bone of the ankle. And extend, and slowly lower the left leg down. And just inch your hips forward off your roll. So it's a little wedge that you can lean into a little, sacrum into for boat pose. So knees back up towards the chest. And lift the legs. Perhaps you can take a little deeper expression because of that wedge of the rolled blanket. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and cross the shins. Reach forward with the arms. And walk the hands back. Just notice which shin is forward. And boat pose again. Stretch the legs, the arms for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and cross the shins a different way. Opposite leg in front, and stretch forward, reach back through the hips. And walk the hands back for one more boat pose. Lean back. Lift the legs, lift the arms. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And this time, take the legs wide and come forward any amount. Nice extended spine. So started out kind of vigorous and then transferred onto the floor where it's, you know, a lot of the alignment principles are the same as if we were standing, but we have support. We have the support of the floor. So even here, we often do this pose standing, where we slide the hands down the legs and bring the chest forward. Sometimes even bringing the head onto a block to prepare for a headstand. So there's many paths, a couple more breaths. Paths to inverting, paths to unwinding, paths to more spaciousness in our mind, in our bodies. Extend hands back underneath the knees. And one more pose before we unroll this roll. So just walk the hips back and roll it up a little bit more. Yeah, little roll under the knees. And just take a forward fold. It's kind of like that forward hang and standing. And when you inhale, think of that lift through the torso. When you exhale, think about lengthening the spine. Inhaling, you can even slide the hands up. We do this standing sometimes, like ragdoll. Lifting up through the spine, breath in, exhale. Just coming forward. And one more inhale, slide the hands back. And exhale. And just stay there for a few breaths. And lengthen the spine to come up. And since we mentioned headstand, I want to do one more preparatory position that you would do to get ready for a headstand. So this is sometimes known as dolphin pose or a forearm dog pose. So I'm going to interlace my fingers. If you have jewelry on, might take that off. The pinky, you don't want to pinch metal against your fingers. And it's very important when I learned about headstand to keep the webbing firmly connected, because the outer edge of your hand and your wrist and your forearm is what keeps your head and neck stable. And if you start to lose it like that, you know, if your hands are not connected, the webbing, then that's where your head's going to compress and your neck is going to get compressed. So really make sure your fingers are firmly interlaced all the way down to the pinky. And we're not going to come all the way up onto our heads, but just do some preparation. So that plank work we did earlier, even the hands and knees with hands a little bit forward of the shoulders. So here the elbows are a little forward of the shoulders. And as you can see, it's similar to how we started out. But the elbows are shoulder width apart. They're not wider. So that's the other thing that can happen. So, and you may have noticed I took the cloth of my shirt up above my elbow. So my arms, the skin is against the sticky mat. That's how it sticks and keeps the posture. So I'm just gonna curl the toes under and lift the hips up. And see, I can just kind of walk the feet closer to the hands, and my neck is free. So eventually I would walk a little closer, and I would do this with a wall and place the crown of my head into the cup made by my hands. But we're not going to do that today. We're just pressing the wrist, practicing pressing the wrist, the outer edge of the hand, keeping the fingers interlaced, lifting the hips, working in the shoulders. So many of the poses, especially in that Iyengar tradition, come on down to child's pose, lead up to headstand, which is called the king of the poses, and shoulder stand, which is the queen. And that's because of their effect on the endocrine system, and particularly the glands in the brain, the hypothalamus, the pituitary, and the master gland, the hypothalamus. And then Also, the thyroid gets a lot of benefit from being upside down. So we'll do that one more time. When you're ready, or if you're not ready, you can just rest in child's pose. And then we'll rest in Shavasana. So we can just lift the hips up, elbows right underneath the shoulders, and then come on. So let the head hang down. This is a great shoulder opener too. Help release shoulder tension. And come on down and child's pose. And then for relaxation, we'll take legs up the wall. So if you have a blanket and you can take it from the quarter fold and fold it like an accordion. And if your brain is just done taking in information, then don't worry about it. You can just swing your legs up the wall. But I'm just going to bring this accordion fold right about 3 inches in front of the wall. And then I'm going to curl up as tight little ball as I can, like fetal position with my hips as close to the wall as possible, right next to my blanket. And then you just swing the legs up the wall and tuck the folded blanket right underneath the sacrum. And exhale. Legs up the wall, with or without a blanket. Arms to either side of the torso, palms turned up. And if you want any assistance, you can always turn on your video. I'm happy to look at your poses and to give you feedback and alignment instructions. So the last pose for the last couple minutes, legs up the wall. So allow your mind to open, its senses to open. Body to breathe. And notice the feeling of your body and the feeling inside your head or your mind. Just for another minute or so. And as usual, if you wish to stay, please do. And if you're complete, gently wiggle your fingers and your toes. Roll to your favorite side, stay curled up for a couple breaths. And rolling a little more onto your forearms. Slowly come up to a comfortable seat with the head last, palms together. Thank you. Thanks to Jamie for moderating for us. Namaste.
Thank you, Linda. Have a nice weekend.
My pleasure, and thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Christine, sorry, she's already gone. Okay. She had written in the chat that she was having, her connection was giving her trouble, but I don't think it was on our end. Barbara, did you have any trouble with the connection today?